Ladies and gentlemen, today, I stand before you not just as your president, but as a guardian of truth and unity. In recent times, unsettling rumors and baseless claims about my person have circulated, some whispered in corners, others amplified across social media. To those sowing these seeds of confusion, enough is enough. Let me be clear, the presidency of Burkina Faso issues a solemn warning. Any information regarding me, President Ibrahim Traoré, must only come from official presidential channels. Spreading false statements, deceptive content, or unverified messages is no longer a harmless act. It undermines our national cohesion and threatens the revolution we are building, Le Monde. We are engaged in a progressive and popular revolution, born of our collective yearning for sovereignty, discipline, and independence from neocolonial influence on direct doorway. But revolutions are fragile when trust fractures. By spreading misinformation, one feeds a climate of fear and division, exactly what foreign imperialists and internal saboteurs want. Therefore, let this be your notice. The presidency holds the full right to take legal action against individuals and entities that fabricate or disseminate false information. This is not a threat, it is a shield forged to protect our people, our institutions, and the integrity of our national mission. To every citizen, every leader, and every member of our diaspora, remain vigilant, verify, demand proof, speak truth, share official statements, not rumors. In this way, we become architects of our destiny, not by chance, but by conviction. Our struggle is not abstract, it is real. Our goal is not symbolic, it is transformative. To build a nation worthy of Thomas Sankara's legacy, we will need order, courage, and above all, the unbreakable bond of truth. Let us stand together. Continue the march in discipline. Continue the march in honesty. Hold fast to facts, reject falsehoods, and defend the revolution with clarity and unity. Only then can Burkina Faso rise, enduring, sovereign, and free. President Ibrahim Traoré emphasizes that any news or statements about him must come exclusively from official presidential sources. False claims circulating elsewhere are strongly condemned. In recent times, we have witnessed a surge of misinformation and unfounded rumors regarding my leadership and intentions. Such falsehoods threaten not only my reputation, but also the stability and progress of our beloved nation, Burkina Faso. It is critical for the well-being of our country that all citizens, the media and political actors rely solely on official communications to stay informed. When information about the president or government actions comes from unofficial or unverified sources, it creates confusion, fuels division, and undermines the trust necessary for national unity. It is with this understanding that the presidency of Burkina Faso sends a firm warning to those who deliberately spread misinformation. We are living through a crucial period marked by a progressive and popular revolution that aims to restore dignity, sovereignty, and independence to our people. This revolution cannot succeed if it is weakened by falsehoods and rumors that distract from our shared goals. The presidency calls upon all Burkinabe citizens and partners across Africa to stand together against the spread of fake news, which threatens to derail the progress we have made and endangers our collective future. Our revolution is deeply rooted in the legacy of great leaders who envisioned a Burkina Faso free from neocolonial influence and external manipulation. However, false information serves as a weapon for those who seek to exploit divisions within our society and destabilize our efforts to build a strong, independent nation. By circulating misleading or outright false claims about my presidency, these actors hope to sow doubt and mistrust among the people. It is essential that we recognize these tactics for what they are, attempts to weaken our unity and halt the march toward sovereignty. The presidency will not tolerate such acts of deception. Legal measures will be taken against individuals, groups, or organizations that fabricate or disseminate false information about the president or the government. This is not a move to silence criticism or dissent, but a necessary step to protect the integrity of the revolution and ensure that the truth prevails. Upholding transparency and accountability remains a priority, but these values must be pursued through facts and honest dialogue, not through manipulation or lies. Citizens play a vital role in this fight against misinformation. Everyone must take responsibility for verifying the accuracy of the information before sharing it, whether through social media, conversations, or traditional news outlets. We all contribute to the information environment that shapes public opinion. By demanding proof and confirming official sources, each person helps build a more informed and resilient society. This vigilance is especially important as Burkina Faso's struggle extends beyond our borders, inspiring movements for self-determination across Africa. The President also calls on journalists and media organizations to uphold the highest standards of integrity and professionalism. Reporting must be grounded in verified facts, respecting the critical role the press plays in shaping public understanding. Sensationalism, speculation, or unsubstantiated claims only serve to weaken the trust between the people and their leaders. In these times, responsible journalism is not merely a duty, but a cornerstone of national stability and progress. Above all, the message is clear. The future of Burkina Faso depends on unity, discipline, and commitment to truth. The revolution is not an abstract idea, but a living, breathing movement that requires collective effort. Falsehoods threaten to break the bonds that hold us together, but honesty and clarity can strengthen those bonds and accelerate our path to freedom and prosperity. This call for discipline and truth is a call to all Burkinabe, whether in the cities, the countryside, or abroad, to resist the temptation of rumors and to stand firm in their support for the nation's legitimate leadership. Together, we must continue the march toward a Burkina Faso that is strong, sovereign, and free from foreign domination. This journey demands courage, vigilance, and unwavering faith in our shared destiny. In conclusion, President Ibrahim Traoré reminds us that official information is not simply a preference, but a necessity. It safeguards our unity, protects our revolution, and ensures that our nation speaks with one voice against those who would seek to divide us. By rejecting falsehoods and embracing truth, we honor the legacy of our ancestors and secure a brighter future for generations to come. Let us move forward with confidence, knowing that our strength lies in the truth we share and the solidarity we uphold. The presidency issues a clear warning. Individuals or groups spreading fake news or misinformation about the president will face serious consequences, including possible legal action. This warning comes at a critical time when misinformation threatens to undermine the progress and stability Burkina Faso has been striving to achieve. President Ibrahim Traoré and his administration recognize the dangers posed by false information, not only to his reputation, but to the unity and security of the entire nation. The spread of rumors, fabricated stories, and distorted facts can create confusion, mistrust, and division among the people. It can also embolden those who wish to destabilize the country and derail the ongoing efforts toward national sovereignty and development. In issuing this firm warning, the presidency underscores its commitment to safeguarding the truth and protecting the integrity of the government's mission. The spread of misinformation is not a trivial matter. It is a serious offense that threatens the foundations of our democracy and the revolution we are building. False narratives about the president can incite unrest, weaken public confidence, and distract the population from the real challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. The government will not stand idly by as these harmful actions threaten the fabric of our society. Legal action is a key tool that the presidency will employ to hold accountable those who deliberately spread falsehoods. This is not intended to suppress free expression or legitimate criticism, which are essential in any healthy democracy. Instead, it is a necessary measure to combat malicious disinformation that aims to deceive and harm. Those who fabricate lies, manipulate facts, or distribute unfounded rumors about the president or government officials will face consequences in accordance with the law. The state's judicial system will be mobilized to investigate and prosecute such offenses, sending a clear message that misinformation has no place in Burkina Faso's political landscape. The warning also serves as a reminder to the public to exercise caution and responsibility in the way information is shared. In today's digital age, news spreads rapidly through social media platforms, messaging apps, and informal networks. While this connectivity can be a powerful tool for communication, it also makes it easier for false information to proliferate. Every citizen must become a guardian of truth by verifying sources, questioning suspicious content, and refusing to circulate unverified claims. This collective vigilance helps prevent the spread of lies and protects the community from the damage misinformation can cause. Moreover, the presidency calls on media organizations and journalists to uphold the highest standards of integrity. Responsible reporting is more important than ever in a time when misinformation can easily erode public trust. Journalists have a duty to fact-check, to provide context, and to report with fairness and accuracy. Sensationalism, or the rush to publish without verification, only contributes to confusion and mistrust. The media must be an ally in the fight against misinformation by providing clear, reliable, and official information to the public. The firm warning from the presidency also highlights the broader context in which this struggle against misinformation takes place. Burkina Faso is undergoing a progressive and popular revolution aimed at reclaiming national sovereignty and building a future free from neocolonial influence. This is a delicate and transformative period that demands unity, discipline, and clarity. False information can fracture the solidarity required for success and empower those who wish to maintain the status quo or exploit instability for their own gain. By confronting misinformation decisively, the government is protecting the revolution and its people. Ultimately, the presidency's message is one of protection and preservation. It is about shielding the nation from harmful forces that seek to weaken it from within and ensuring that the path towards sovereignty remains clear and unimpeded. Citizens are called upon to stand united, to reject falsehoods, and to support the leadership with honesty and transparency. The fight against misinformation is a shared responsibility, vital to the health and future of Burkina Faso. In conclusion, the firm warning against misinformation is more than a statement. It is a call to action. The presidency will use all legal means to combat the spread of fake news, holding offenders accountable to preserve the integrity of the government and the revolution. It urges every Burkinabe and all stakeholders to remain vigilant, responsible, and committed to the truth. Together, through discipline and solidarity, we can protect our nation from the dangers of misinformation and ensure a prosperous, sovereign future for Burkina Faso. False information undermines national unity and the revolutionary path Burkina Faso is pursuing. In these challenging times, when our country is engaged in a profound transformation aimed at reclaiming sovereignty and dignity, the spread of misinformation is one of the greatest threats we face. False narratives sow confusion among the population, weakening the bonds that hold us together as a nation. When people are misled or deceived by fabricated stories or distorted facts, trust erodes, not only in our leaders, but also among fellow citizens. This breakdown of trust threatens to fracture the unity that is essential for the success of the progressive and popular revolution we are determined to achieve. National unity is the foundation upon which Burkina Faso's future is being rebuilt. Our revolution is rooted in the ideals of solidarity, discipline, and independence from neocolonial powers that have long sought to control Africa's resources and destiny. It is a movement that calls upon every Burkinabe to stand shoulder to shoulder, to support one another, and to work together for a common purpose. False information, however, creates divisions that distract from this mission. It pits communities against each other, fuels suspicion, and creates an environment of fear and uncertainty. Such discord weakens our collective resolve and slows the progress we have fought so hard to achieve. Moreover, the circulation of false information does not occur in isolation. It often plays directly into the hands of foreign and internal enemies who seek to destabilize Burkina Faso for their own benefit. These forces exploit misinformation as a tool of manipulation, spreading lies to confuse the population and disrupt the revolutionary process. By creating chaos and mistrust, they aim to undermine our sovereignty and maintain their influence over our affairs. Recognizing this, it becomes clear that combating misinformation is not merely a domestic issue, but part of a larger struggle against external interference and internal sabotage. The danger of misinformation is amplified in the current global context, where digital communication allows falsehoods to spread quickly and widely. Rumors can ignite tensions in communities, leading to conflict and unrest. Once divisions take hold, they are difficult to heal, and the resulting instability can provide openings for those who wish to exploit the situation. The presidency of Burkina Faso understands this threat, and has therefore emphasized the urgent need to protect our national unity by rejecting false information and adhering strictly to verified facts. Protecting national unity also means fostering an informed and engaged citizenry. Every Burkinabe has a role to play in this effort by verifying information before accepting or sharing it. Responsible communication helps build a society where truth is valued and misinformation is challenged. By refusing to spread rumors and false reports, citizens can help create an environment of trust and cooperation that strengthens the revolution. This collective responsibility is vital if we are to achieve the transformation we seek. The media, too, carries a significant responsibility in safeguarding national unity. Journalists and news organizations must adhere to the highest standards of accuracy and fairness. Reporting should be based on evidence and official information rather than speculation or sensationalism. In doing so, the media can serve as a bridge that connects the government and the people, facilitating transparency and understanding. When the media acts with integrity, it contributes to the cohesion and stability necessary for the revolutionary process to succeed. Furthermore, the government is committed to addressing misinformation swiftly and decisively. Measures are in place to identify sources of false information and hold those responsible accountable under the law. This approach is essential to deter malicious actors and to protect the integrity of the revolution. However, legal actions are only part of the solution. The primary defense against misinformation lies in education, awareness, and the collective vigilance of all citizens. In summary, protecting national unity is paramount for Burkina Faso's future. False information threatens to unravel the progress we have made by creating division, mistrust, and confusion. It empowers external and internal enemies who seek to derail our revolutionary goals. By rejecting misinformation and embracing truth, by holding each other accountable and demanding responsible communication, we can strengthen the bonds that unite us. This unity will enable Burkina Faso to continue its journey toward sovereignty, freedom, and prosperity. The call is clear. Let us remain united, informed, and resolute. Together, we can overcome the challenges posed by falsehoods and safeguard the revolutionary path that leads to a better future for all Burkinabe. Our strength lies in our solidarity, and only by protecting our unity can we ensure that the vision of a free and independent Burkina Faso becomes a reality. The President calls on all citizens to remain committed to the progressive and popular revolution, which seeks true sovereignty and independence for Burkina Faso and Africa as a whole. This revolution is not merely a political change, but a profound transformation of our society, culture, and identity. It is a movement born from the deep desire of our people to reclaim control over our land, resources, and future, free from external domination and internal corruption. The revolution embodies the dreams and struggles of generations who have fought tirelessly for freedom, dignity, and justice. As such, every citizen has a vital role to play in defending it and ensuring its success. Burkina Faso's progressive and popular revolution is rooted in principles that reject neocolonial influence and aim to build a sovereign nation where power truly belongs to the people. It is a bold vision that challenges the status quo and seeks to establish a government that prioritizes the welfare of its citizens above all else. This revolution calls for discipline, transparency, and dedication to national development. It is not a fleeting moment of change, but a sustained effort to transform every aspect of our society, from governance to the economy, from education to security. To defend this revolution means to protect these values and to work tirelessly to realize them in practice. The President has emphasized that this revolution is not just Burkina Faso's struggle, but part of a larger continental movement for true independence across Africa. For too long, African nations have been subjected to external pressures that limit their growth and sovereignty. The progressive and popular revolution in Burkina Faso is a beacon of hope and an example for other African countries aspiring to reclaim their destiny. It stands as a call for collective self-determination and resistance against all forms of domination. By defending this revolution, citizens are not only securing the future of Burkina Faso, but contributing to the broader liberation of the African continent. Defense of the revolution requires vigilance against any forces that seek to undermine it. These include both internal threats, such as corruption, division, and misinformation, and external ones like foreign interference and economic exploitation. The President's call to action is clear. Every individual must reject behaviors that weaken the revolution. This means standing against lies and rumors that cause confusion, avoiding actions that divide communities, and rejecting influences that compromise national sovereignty. The revolution's success depends on unity and collective commitment. Moreover, defending the revolution involves active participation. It is not enough to passively support the cause. Citizens must engage in efforts to build and sustain the new Burkina Faso envisioned by the revolutionaries. This can take many forms, including contributing to community development, holding leaders accountable, promoting education, and fostering a culture of patriotism and respect for national values. Each person's contribution matters and strengthens the foundation upon which the revolution is built. The President also reminds citizens that discipline and sacrifice are necessary components of defense. Transforming a nation is never easy, and it requires resilience in the face of challenges. There will be obstacles, economic difficulties, security threats, and social tensions that test our resolve. Yet the commitment to the revolution must remain unwavering. It is through perseverance and unity that Burkina Faso will overcome these hurdles and emerge stronger. Importantly, the revolution seeks to empower the people and restore their dignity. It rejects systems that have marginalized or excluded the majority. By defending the revolution, citizens help ensure that power and resources are distributed fairly and that governance is transparent and accountable. This creates a society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive and where the rights and freedoms of all are respected. In this context, the President's call to defend the revolution is also a call for hope. It is a reminder that despite past struggles and current difficulties, a better future is within reach if we remain committed. The progressive and popular revolution embodies the aspirations of a generation determined to break free from the chains of dependency and oppression. It is a historic opportunity to shape a nation based on justice, equality, and true independence. In conclusion, defending the revolution is a shared responsibility that demands commitment, vigilance, and active engagement. The President urges every citizen to embrace this mission with pride and determination. By standing united behind the principles of the progressive and popular revolution, Burkina Faso can realize its vision of sovereignty and become a leading example of African liberation and self-determination. Together, we can build a future that honors the sacrifices of those who came before us and paves the way for generations to come. Everyone, from journalists to everyday citizens, is urged to verify information before sharing it. The future of the nation depends on responsible communication. In today's interconnected world, where information travels at lightning speed through social media, messaging apps, and traditional news outlets, the power and impact of communication cannot be overstated. Each individual holds a critical role in shaping public discourse, influencing opinions, and ultimately determining the stability and progress of Burkina Faso. Because of this immense responsibility, it is essential that everyone exercises care, skepticism, and diligence before accepting or disseminating any piece of information. Journalists, as the primary conveyors of news, carry a particularly heavy burden. They serve as the bridge between the government and the people, tasked with reporting facts accurately and fairly. The media has the power to inform, educate, and inspire society, but it also has the potential to mislead or create division if not handled responsibly. Therefore, journalists must adhere to the highest standards of professionalism, verifying sources, cross-checking facts, and providing balanced perspectives. Sensationalism or haste to break news without thorough verification only fuels misinformation and weakens public trust. Responsible journalism builds credibility and contributes to national cohesion by ensuring that citizens receive truthful and relevant information about government actions, social issues, and events. However, the role of responsible communication does not rest solely with journalists and media outlets. Everyday citizens are equally vital participants in this process. In the era of social media, where anyone can share information instantly, each person becomes a potential broadcaster. This democratization of communication is powerful, but it also comes with risks. Without verification, individuals may unknowingly spread false or misleading information that can cause confusion, fear, and discord within communities. Thus, it is imperative that every citizen cultivates a habit of critical thinking and fact-checking before sharing news or opinions. Verifying information involves several simple yet effective steps: checking if the news comes from an official or credible source, cross-referencing with other reliable outlets, and being cautious of emotionally charged or sensational headlines that might distort facts. When uncertain, it is better to refrain from sharing rather than contribute to the spread of falsehoods. Responsible communication protects not only individual reputations, but also the collective detriment of the nation. It helps maintain peace, trust, and a clear understanding of the country's ongoing development. Moreover, responsible communication is foundational to democracy and social harmony. It fosters an informed citizenry capable of engaging in meaningful dialogue and making sound decisions. When people are well informed, they can hold their leaders accountable and participate actively in nation building. On the other hand, misinformation can manipulate public perception, deepen divisions, and weaken democratic processes. This is why President Ibrahim Traoré and the government place such emphasis on the accuracy and reliability of information shared among the population. The government recognizes the challenges posed by the rapid spread of misinformation, but remains committed to transparency and open communication. Official channels provide verified updates and statements to ensure that citizens have access to accurate information. The presidency encourages everyone to rely on these sources to stay informed. However, the government alone cannot win the battle against misinformation. It requires a collective effort from all sectors of society. Educational initiatives aimed at improving media literacy are also vital. Teaching citizens how to critically assess information, recognize fake news, and understand the consequences of spreading falsehoods will strengthen the nation's resilience. Schools, community organizations, and media platforms can work together to promote these skills and raise awareness about the importance of responsible communication. Furthermore, technology companies and social media platforms must play their part by implementing measures to detect and reduce the circulation of false information. While freedom of expression is a fundamental right, it must be balanced with the need to protect society from harmful misinformation that can disrupt peace and national unity. In summary, the role of citizens and media in verifying information before sharing it cannot be overstated. It is a shared responsibility critical to the future of Burkina Faso. Accurate and responsible communication strengthens national unity, supports the revolutionary goals of sovereignty and independence, and builds a more informed and engaged society. Each person, whether a journalist, public figure, or ordinary citizen, has a duty to act with integrity and caution in the information they share. By doing so, we contribute to a safer, stronger, and more prosperous nation. Responsible communication is not just an individual choice, it is a collective imperative that will determine the trajectory of our country for generations to come. The speech ends with a strong call to action. Defend the truth, stay disciplined, and continue building a Burkina Faso that is free, sovereign, and united. This call is more than just words. It is a vital directive for every citizen, every community, and every institution in the country. In a time of great change and challenge, the values of discipline and truth stand as pillars upon which the future of Burkina Faso must be constructed. The President's message emphasizes that without these fundamental principles, the dreams of freedom, independence, and unity cannot be realized. Defending the truth is the foundation of this call. Truth is not merely an abstract concept, but the bedrock of trust, justice, and progress. When truth prevails, it fosters transparency and accountability, allowing citizens to make informed decisions and participate meaningfully in national development. Conversely, when falsehoods spread unchecked, they breed confusion, suspicion, and division. In the current political and social climate where misinformation and fake news pose significant threats, the defense of truth becomes a critical act of patriotism. Citizens are urged to seek verified information, reject rumors, and uphold honesty in all communications. This collective commitment to truth fortifies the revolution and strengthens the bonds that unite the nation. Alongside truth, discipline is highlighted as an essential virtue necessary for the success of Burkina Faso's transformative journey. Discipline entails self-control, respect for laws and institutions, and dedication to collective goals over individual interests. It is through discipline that the country can maintain order amidst change, ensure effective governance, and resist forces that seek to exploit chaos and disunity. The President's call encourages every Burkinabe to embody discipline in their daily lives, whether by supporting national initiatives, respecting community rules, or engaging responsibly in civic duties. This disciplined approach ensures that efforts towards sovereignty and development are sustained and that setbacks do not derail progress. The vision of a free, sovereign, and united Burkina Faso lies at the heart of this call. Freedom is understood not just as liberation from external control, but as the ability of the people to determine their own destiny. Sovereignty means full control over the country's resources, policies, and future, without undue influence from foreign powers. Unity emphasizes the necessity of solidarity across ethnic, regional, and social lines, recognizing that only together can Burkina Faso overcome its challenges and thrive. The President's call is a reminder that these ideals are interconnected and mutually reinforcing. Discipline and truth create the environment in which freedom can flourish, sovereignty can be protected, and unity can be preserved. This call to action is also a call for resilience. Building a nation is a complex and ongoing process that requires patience and perseverance. The path to freedom and sovereignty is rarely smooth, and setbacks may arise from both internal difficulties and external pressures. However, the commitment to defend truth and practice discipline provides the strength to overcome obstacles. It is a call to remain steadfast in the face of adversity, to resist division, and to prioritize the collective good above personal or factional interests. The speech recognizes the vital role of every citizen in this endeavor. Defense of the truth and maintenance of discipline are not tasks for government officials alone, but responsibilities shared by all. From community leaders to young people, from workers to students, everyone is urged to contribute to the nation's stability and progress. This inclusive approach fosters a sense of ownership and empowerment among the population, reinforcing the idea that the future of Burkina Faso is in the hands of its people. In addition, the call for discipline and truth resonates beyond Burkina Faso's borders. It sends a message to the wider African continent and the international community that Burkina Faso is determined to chart its own course with integrity and unity. This stance strengthens the country's position on the global stage and inspires other nations seeking similar paths to sovereignty and development. In conclusion, the President's final message is a powerful and inspiring call to action. Defend the truth, stay disciplined, and continue building a Burkina Faso that is free, sovereign, and united. It is a call that demands courage, commitment, and collective effort. By embracing these principles, the people of Burkina Faso can safeguard their revolution, overcome challenges, and realize a future marked by dignity, independence, and peace. This call for discipline and truth is not just a guiding principle, it is the very essence of the nation's ongoing journey toward a better tomorrow.